it is. Welcome back to the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Europe number 216. It's been a wild ride so far. We've had some upsets, we've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some insane matches already, but now we are down to 2 players remaining in this entire tournament. We have 1 Terran and 1 Zerg, and there can only be 1 champion. Who will it be? If you are in the Twitch chat, then predictions are open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's champion. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our first contender. We have our French Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing Team Basilisk, the Italian Zerg. It is Reynor. As Reynor has been very fond of this specific opener. If you're curious, it is a 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. It is a very safe way to open up. The downside here, delayed gases. Your gases are far later than normal. This is slightly inefficient from the side of Reynor, but it is safer overall because it allows you to get into faster queens and faster ling production. So a very safe way to open up, and just Reynor has been in love with it. He's been whipping out the 15-15 very regularly against Terran players, Protoss players, and Zerg players alike. It has been his go-to, adopting Shin. Before Reynor really embraced this opener, Shin was all over it. Early 2023, Shin started doing this and embraced it after of course, it hit the mainstream with Eric introducing everyone to the 15-15 a couple of years ago in ZVP. Shin has since adopted it, now Reynor as well. The other Zerg players like Dark, Solar, and Serral, they sprinkle it in every now and then, but Reynor, he's the one that really embraced it more than others in recent months. So we expect this to not be the first and last time that we see a 15-15 in this series. Meanwhile, Clem back at home going for a Rax Expand standard opener out of our Terran player. Oh, I should also announce predictions open. There we go. As predictions are open for the next couple of minutes, so you can place your bets on who you believe is going to be our champion. Is going to be a very interesting opener. Okay, very economic. It's going to be a Rax Expand into a factory into a 3rd CC before starport. So very economic follow-up here by Clem. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, despite the fact that we're loading into hard lead. The map itself is a very small map. Shortest rush distance map in the map pool can lead to a lot of aggression. From the Zerg side of things, we've seen a lot of Roach play, a lot of Roach-based openers in this matchup, just to be aggressive and assertive. Likewise, Reaper gets in. We deny the gas, guys. Our drone goes down. Big delay here on the 3rd base, and we're going for the other drone. No, we get in. We deny the 3rd once again for a 2nd time, and that's going to be a kill on the drone. 2 workers go down. Big delay in the 3rd. Clem already in the driver's seat as he goes back in. He sees the drone. He will not delay the 3rd base for a 3rd time, but that is already a big win for Clem. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Not like this, puppies. Clem, he's already just in control of this. He goes in. He will bypass the queens. Rushes into the main base. The queens are not quite able to keep up. Lings are on the way, but they're not in position. 1 Hellion gets picked off. We do roast up 1, 2 drones going down, a lot of lost mine time in the main base, and Clem with a handful of units is snowballing out of control. Lings, they finally come out. We can finally shut this down. Clem will be cleaned up, but that was pretty well worth it here. 2 dead workers, we forced out some spores, we delayed mining in the main base, we killed 2 drones additionally and delayed the 3rd base. All very successful damage here by Clem. Now, the reason why Reynor was so vulnerable in that moment is because with a 15-15, you rely on queens to defend. You skip and you delay lings. That's why there was 0 lings to deny those Hellions and to keep up. Lings were only just now made in the aftermath. So again, Clem abusing the opener of Reynor, taking advantage of it, aware of its weaknesses, aware of its vulnerabilities. Clem going to be rotating back around. Again, just poking in with his Hellions. Ooh, we threaten a dive. We don't commit. Not this time. As Clem is forced back. Reinforces with more Hellions. Behind this, 3rd CC up and running. We're getting our 3-rack setup on the way. Double E-base. And the 3rd base will soon be thrown down on location. Will soon be on the way. This one, oh, sorry, my apologies. I'll fix it. So I was engrossed in the game that I didn't quite fix that score, but it is a best of five grand finals, not a best of one. Do apologize. Meanwhile, Liberator comes in from behind. We do catch a Queen. Queen is going to be going down. Likewise, Hellions poking on the front lines. They do not quite make it in. So far, Reynor, he's tightening up his defenses. Did lose the Queen, but these Hellions have not found a way in. Not yet. So overall, good stuff here. As Clem is still building up his own production, still being active with these Hellions. Liberator did go down, did not survive. So good pick off by Reynor. Did get picked off. Third base now on the way. And because these Hellions, Clem has map control, he's free to expand. There's nothing here to really harass him, to stop him, to slow him down. Reynor this entire time has been droning. To focus a little bit on our Zerg player, Reynor, he's been re-droning, resaturating, catching up. He is behind because of his delayed third and all the damage done earlier. So he's just rushing into just mass drone production. It means that Reynor doesn't really have an army. He has a handful of Lings, but not much else. Just now, 1-1, it's halfway done. Bathing Nest is about to finish up just in time with the lair to start up Bathing Speed. But without Bathing Speed, Clem, he has a bit of momentum on his side. He can get damage done as he's coming in with a double drop. Armory is about to finish so we can morph in some Hellbats. Overlord gets caught out. Supply blocking Clem for a moment there. And there it is, the Hellbats, they have arrived. Clem pushing forward, takes down another Overlord. At the same time, here comes a Ling run by. Big catch here by Reynor. And the Bailings, ooh, they do not connect. Clem, he does respond, he does pull back. Ooh, as the Bailings, they don't connect either here. Clem handling this situation so well. Across the map, 7 SCVs go down. Good damage was dealt, and Reynor doesn't lose any drones. Whew. So, a good defense by Reynor. Didn't kill the army, didn't collapse on the Bioforce, but Reynor, he protected his mineral line, and he kills 7 SCVs. A good moment for Reynor, and a very necessary moment as well. Because the early game was not going his way, he needed something to go his way. As he is catching up, now with a 4th hatchery, soon to be a 5th hatchery. Reynor knocking down those rooks, and getting ready for the push. Clem going to be moving on forward. Bathing speed still isn't done. But it's a couple of seconds away, and once it does kick in, Reynor, he should have an easier time dealing with this. Widow Mines are being set up, waiting for a scan. To take down the active tumors. Widow Mine is baited out. Oh! Ooh, a big connection on the Bailings. A good mine shot there. Clem, he does pick up, he does escape with his Marines. Just barely, but the creep is looking strong. We spoke about this in the early game. Oh god, no! As Clem is paying attention. Whew, he picks up just in time. But we spoke about the map, about how small this is. You can see the creep already halfway. Already barely over the halfway mark here. Soon to be encroaching on the 3rd base of Clem. That's just how little room there is on hard lead. So Clem, he needs to be on top of this creep spread, otherwise it's going to get out of control. Very quickly, very easily. Yeah, he rotates around and he will catch these active tumors. Meanwhile, Clem, Reynor, he goes in! Big connections, big bailing connections there from the Zerg player. Clem, late to react, late to respond. Sims on forward. Mindshot going to get baited. Ooh, as we have a slightly better connection there for Reynor. There's still a single Widow Mine behind this. Again, we can see that Clem is trying to keep the pressure up, going for a Doom drop into the main base, just over 3 medevacs. Creep is being cleaned up, and the drop gets into the main. Reynor out of position, going for a Ling main Hydra. Hydra gets caught out, Lings are trickling into their death. Not a good trade here for Reynor, bleeding out too much. We take control of the main base, we deny the infestation pin, at the same time we push onto the front lines. Widow Mines are breaking through, we stim on forward, and Reynor, he's struggling, he's being pulled apart. Good target firing here out of Clem. Insane target firing. Ooh, but he does take a bathing to the face. Does sustain some damage in the main base, forced to pick up as well. Reynor, he is surviving, but he's not living. Like, Reynor, he's barely holding on. Struggling to hold on. as Clem has been so efficient. We see Reynor, his spawning pool was sniped. Not like this. No spawning pool, no links can be made. Reynor relying on what he has, relying on Hydras. Stim on forward, we catch another queen. We get a tumor. Again, good attention to detail there by Clem, dropping into that pocket, dropping into that natural base. Picking off a Hydra, dropping into the main. Oh, and where are the Bailings? Where are the Lings? I mean, we couldn't make any. That's the problem. We could not produce any more Lings or any more Bailings. As Reynor, he is barely forcing this back with a Hydra army. Scarlet, is that you? Mainly Hydras here for Reynor. Reinforcements have arrived, and without Bailings, how do we defend? How do we deal with this? We don't. We need Bailings to survive, and these are just very inefficient trades from Reynor, bleeding out so many Hydras. Mine shot's going to be going off. Reynor, he does force this back. Ooh, fighting off of creep. Yeah, running into more Widow Mines here. As Clem, he just keeps on rallying across the map. He's got a 5th CC behind this. 81 SCVs. Clem has an untouchable economy right now, an untouched economy. Reynor, he hasn't had the freedom to go for counterattacks, for run-bys. Oh, with a friendly fire! Oh my god. What do you do if you don't have any Banelings? Oh, you drag the mine shots. Ooh. So we did shut down some Banelings there. At the same time, drone's going to be going down. Oh, there we go. I was looking for the mine drop here towards the left-hand side. We get 8 workers. Now, Reynor has a good worker count, but again, it's his army that's struggling here. He's been trading so poorly. He needs a little bit of breathing room. He needs a moment here to just muster up his reinforcements and consolidate his army. But it's not happening. Mine shots going off. Clem keeping the pressure up. Creep slowly being respread. Reynor working towards a lurker den. Now, if we can survive, if we can make it to lurkers, then Reynor can stabilize. Reynor, he can slow the game down and bring things back. If he can just get into those lurkers. Oof. Mine shot going up. Clem breaking through. They try to trickle in, but they connect with Marauders. Oh. And Clem, he makes his way towards the hatchery. Reynor out of position, racing back over. That's going to be a cancel. That should be a cancel on the hatchery. Never mind, we save it. We do let it finish. Snipe's going to be going off. Clem transitioning into Ghosts, ready for lurkers. Even if we get into lurker production, we have Ghosts ready already. We are prepared. Ghosts getting picked up. As we see Clem, he has broken this hatchery. That's 300 minerals down the drain. At the same time, going for a drop on the left-hand side is barely deflected. But that hatchery in the center of the map is so low. So close to going down. Ooh, mine shot connecting with those lings. Bit of friendly fire. As Reynor, he's getting some of the medevacs. The medevacs are so low. Good pickups there by Reynor. Does shave off some medevacs. But again, there it is. The lurkers are finally on the way. A good lurker count, actually. Again, if we get them in position in high enough number, then we can force Clem to back off. Yeah, lurkers, they have revealed themselves, and Clem has to respect them. At the same time, a lurker counterattack. Clem, he just turns back around, and suddenly, Reynor, he's getting momentum. He gets some breathing room. He's able to re-drone, focus on his production, focus on rebuilding his army. SCVs are going down. Reynor, he's still in this. He has maxed out. Lurkers on the right and the left-hand side. As we deny a base. We deny a CC. Again, unfortunately for Reynor, Clem, he already had Ghosts. Like, so he can snipe away at these lurkers. 3 lurkers get picked off. Clem expanding on the right-hand side. Taking a fresh mining base. Lurkers have been spotted. Again, Reynor trying to push on 2 ends, 2 angles, 2 sides at the same time. Oh, bleeding out lurkers. Expensive losses for Reynor. As he does push in. Mine connection is not ideal. The base hasn't been scouted. Reynor. Okay, now he knows. He sees. Does see the base. Pushes in anyway towards the planetary. At the same time, encroaching on the army on the left-hand side as well. Edging on closer. Getting some free shots off. And now suddenly you can see Clem is on the back foot. The masked lurker, Bobby. Snipes is still looking good, but oh my god, the spine shots are too much. Clem bleeding out a lot of Marines. You can see how the dynamic changes here once lurkers come into play. Ooh, as Reynor, he does overextend a little bit there. But he catches more ghosts. Catching more of these ghostlings. They threaten the planetary, but it's up and running. 9 SCVs go down. We clean up the lurkers on the left-hand side, and now we can focus on the right. These are expensive losses for Reynor. I'm a little bit concerned, but he has done a lot of damage. Oh, where's the skin? No! There was no skin! Oh my god, Clem! Oh, he just ate so many spines to the face. No skin available. Lings, they flood in towards the natural, towards the main base. And Reynor, he takes a massive fight. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. We finally have a skin, but it might just be too late. This CC needs to land. One of the command centers, it is floating. Does have enough for a skin. As Lings, they flood into the natural. Big mine shot, though. Now, Clemens is going to be able to defend eventually, but that's a kill on the planetary. Planetary goes down. You can see Reynor, he's mass expanding. Taking here these bases on the right-hand side. Joining back up to 79. Oof, oh my god, the spine shots as well once again. Annihilating that bio army. You can see Clem plummet in supply. He was maxed out a minute ago, and now he's down to 130 supply. And Reynor, he has done it. He's pulling Clem apart. Denies the center base. Denying mining here towards the top right as well. Another lifted orbital. That's why we didn't have a scan. It was this lifted base. The lifted base on the left-hand side as well. And here, the power spike that is the lurker was just too much. Yeah, as the lurker rush just doesn't end. 5 more lurkers on the way. So end up losing one of those lurkers towards the left. But again, Reynor, he's maxed out. Like, he's in full control of this game. It's gonna be a kill on the CC on the right-hand side. Clem getting a bit of damage here with this mine drop. Oh, killing 6 drones, not bad. It's a start, but we need more than just a start. We need more than that. A massive fungal as well. We catch the main army. Oh my god, the friendly fire with the wind mine as well. The Ling Bane does crash in. And Reynor, he has done it. Again, he weathered the storm. He survived the aggression. Made it to the lunkers, papi. That's all we need. That's all we did need. And you can see the map now working in favor of Reynor. You can see just how in his face, how little time Clem had to react, and how quickly Reynor, he lays siege upon 3 locations at once, on the right, on the left, and through the center, because of how small this map is. If we were on Equilibrium, Alcyone, Razor Station, Side Delta even, it would be a different dynamic. Would have been a very different game here. Here on Hard Lead, Reynor snowballing out of control. Shutting down that center base. That will be a kill on that orbital. And again, we're running out of scans. As here we have a planetary. An orbital is lifted. We have, yeah, basically two orbitals worth of scans. 3 orbitals even. And we're out of energy. Whew. Again, a very intense game. It was a very intense game. Almost non-stop action. Initially from the side of Clem, and then from the side of Reynor. Yeah, and with that, Reynor is going to collapse in this army. The lurkers from behind as well. Massive spine shots going off. The Widowmines, I'm waiting for the friendly fire here as we collapse. We bust on in. And Reynor, he has done it. He's broken the army of Clem. There's nothing left. GG gets called, and Reynor, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A wild game there, a back and forth in so many different ways. And congratulations here, Reynor. He had a rough start. He had a very rough start to the game, but he was able to persevere through the chaos, through the aggression of Clem. And with that, he was able to bounce back, able to take game one. GG. GG, very well played here by Reynor. And with that, he takes a lead in the series. And this really just makes me that much more excited for the rest of these matches, for the rest of these games. Again, it's a best of 5, plenty of games ahead of us. And with this win for Reynor, I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping that we can embrace a more back and forth best of 5 here. As we're going to be loading into game number 2. Game number 2, a much larger map, far larger compared to Hard Lead. We're going to be loading into Equilibrium. Let's go. As we're just kind of making sure our lobby is good to go. Making sure we're okay. Looks like there's someone trying to sneak in. Beautiful. But yeah, it looks like there was just someone trying to impersonate Chicken Man, trying to sneak into lobbies and, you know, just being a clown. Bobby being a clown. All good though. He has been removed, and now we can get into game number 2. Let's go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Equilibrium, we can now focus on the series, focus on the finals. As spawning in the top right hand corner, we have our French Terran player down in this series, but it's a best of 5. Give us more, Bobby. Give us more. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem, the best Terran in all of Europe. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player representing Team Basilisk. Leading the series 1-0, the Italian Zerg. It is Reynor. Here we go. Again, it was a beautiful back and forth there. I mean, pretty like cut and dry back and forth in the sense that, you know, for the first half, Clem was in control, and then suddenly momentum swung in favor of Reynor, and he was able to hold on to it, able to keep it. And now we're loading into Equilibrium. Interesting. I'm curious as to what the vetoes were, just because usually Equilibrium is vetoed. Even in best of 5s, Equilibrium is prioritized. But I do know there are some Terran players that aren't afraid of this map. I do know there are some Terrans, Clem might be one of them. I think Bjorn is another that is willing to, no, sorry, Spirit is another that is willing to embrace Equilibrium. Now, this map has some interesting features. One, it's a very large map. Long rush distance by ground, far longer than Hard Lead, for example, of course, but Hard Lead is one of the more extreme cases of short rush distance. So long rush distance by ground, a lot of bases to be taken, and it is very easy to cut the map in half. Very easy to cut this map in half and force a longer later game. But the problem with that is, before we can cut the map in half, we have goal bases. Goal bases are available, and it is relatively easy for the Zerg player to establish this gold and make use of it as a 3rd or a 4th base. And they get a big boost in their economy in the mid to late game. And with that boosted economy, they can break the Terran, or it can be difficult for the Terran to stabilize and difficult for the Terran to keep up. And we'll see if we can pull that off. We'll see how Clem does approach this. As for now, it's going to be a Hatchcast pool, checking the opener. This time, Reynor did not go for a 15-15, just a standard Hatchcast pool from Reynor, and Clem going for a Rax expand into a factory. Should be into a third CC. Should be into a third CC as the Reaper is going to be dancing with these Lings. Ooh. As the Reaper gets a Ling, almost gets another, as we barely get away there. Clem almost a little bit too greedy, but does pull back just in time. Good control here out of Clem. Not as impactful and not as bombastic as game one. Like, let's be real. Game one, the opener from Clem was crazy. Like, he was popping off, pop. It was like he lost it. I lost my mind watching it. But Clem here, a little bit more tame, gets a Ling, doesn't get a drone. Third base is going to get up and running. Looking at the vision, Clem has spotted the third base location, is aware of it, and will back off. And again, because it was a standard opener from Reynor, he has Lings, he has Queens, he has Ling speed on the way. He isn't delayed, he isn't as vulnerable as he was in game one. So he should have a much more secure position here. Meanwhile, Clem going for a third CC. Third CC before Starports, a very economic follow-up here, going for the auto swap, going into Banshee play. This is very standard, very meta, a very economic and safe way to play. Going into a third base, and the Banshees essentially give you map control. They allow you to harass, they also allow you to shut down Roach aggression. If Reynor wanted to be aggressive with Roaches, he would be shut down by the Cloak Banshees. So this should be leading into the mid-game. It means that both players should be able to survive and get into the mid-game. Really, it's going to be on Clem to potentially get a tumor. And it's going to be on Clem to potentially get economic damage done. These Banshees, sure, they're safe and secure, but we can kill workers. We could catch Queens and pick up some Queens, deny bases, deny the fourth base, clear up tumors. These Banshees can be quite flexible. They can be quite flexible for Clem. He is going to be rotating around, being as active as possible. We do see Reynor going for a lair first, so a safe follow-up by Reynor. What I mean by that, at this stage of the game, Zerg players have options to go into double Evo Chamber if it's an economic opener, and Reynor didn't know. He now scouts, he now sees the CC, so I'm sure he's a little bit uncomfortable with that idea, as he's going for a safe opener, lair first, into a Baneling Nest, into Baneling Speed, into delayed upgrades. Or later upgrades, maybe a better way to put it. Because Banshee does get a couple of drones in the main base. I'm assuming this is going to be for a Baneling Nest, but the Baneling Nest would have been thrown down by now. Gases are being taken. 4 gases already here from Reynor. Is he going into Mutas? This looks like Spire. We'll see. The longer this goes on without a Baneling Nest, the more like a Spire this does look. As Reynor looking to spice it up a little bit here. Overseer is on the way. Banshee's coming in towards the natural. Looking to get a read on what's going on. They do spot the lair. We're going for a Queen. We don't quite get it. Queen does survive at the same time. Hellions, they bust into the third base. They burst up a mineral line. Drones are going down. 13. Oh my god. We annihilate the mineral line here. 14 workers. They get barbecued. And that is not insignificant. That is an entire mineral line going down. Banshees get zoned away. We have a lair, but we're not making use of it. What is the purpose of this lair? There it is. There is the Spire. Again, it's screen Muta. It should have been Muta. And Mutas are on the way. Now, Clem hasn't seen it yet because it's so late. He saw the lair. He saw gases. He has pieces. Like, Clem, he has pieces to the puzzle, but he hasn't kind of formed everything together yet. He doesn't confirm the Spire itself. Again, very late Baneling Nest, very late Evo Chambers because of the Spire. So Reynor, he's risking quite a lot here on Muta play. Now, Clem still has to get a read of what's going on. He's going Bio Mine, thankfully. He, has plenty of anti-air available. No turrets yet because he doesn't know he needs them. Is going to be active though. Is moving out with his double drop. Is going to be active with his drop, just clearing up some creep. Takes down some tumors, does pick up, does get the hell out of there. as 1-1 is kicking in. Okay, 1-1 finishing up here for the Bio Army. The Spire is done. Mutas are on the way. Mutas are in production, and Clem, he still has no idea what's going on. He is not ready for Mutas back at home. Picks off an Overlord. Again, these Mutas are delayed, but that may work in Reynor's favor because Clem won't be ready for it. But he's being active, moving up with the second army. And can Reynor survive? Remember, he has 0-0 Lings. He does not have Baneling speed. His ground army is lacking because of the Mutas, and the Mutas, they do reveal themselves to the Bio Army, to the Marines. Now Clem knows. Pushing in towards the south, he catches the Queens! No transfuse, no energy, and every Queen is going to go down. A big loss here for Reynor. As the Queens, they do get shut down. We have to pull away from the goal base. Mutas are coming in. We still have some winter lines. Oh. Ooh, big connection. Big connections. Oh my god, we just mowed through the Mutas and the Lings. And GG gets called. Too many losses. Clem takes game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. Clem, he didn't even see the Spire. There weren't any turrets. He didn't even know there were Mutas, but again, because of how aggressive he was, because of how delayed everything else was, the ground army was lacking. The ground army was lacking. We were relying so much on Mutas, and Mutas are not ideal defensively. They're so fragile, especially early on with a low Muta count. We put all of our eggs in one basket, all of our eggs in the Mutas, and because Clem was aggressive then and there, Reynor was pulled apart. He was completely pulled apart there by Clem, by the split push. And just like that, GG, well played. That's the risk you take as well. To make this clear, and I'm sure many people know, rushing into a Spire like that and rushing into Mutas is a really risky thing to do because you are vulnerable, right? Because you lack Lingbane and you lack upgrades and you lack a solid army. It's a force that's meant to harass, and if you can get away with it, you can snowball out of control, right? It's high risk, high reward. And if you don't get scouted, if your opponent is too passive, then you can get some economic damage done, gain map control, snowball out of control with the amount of Mutas you have, catch back up with Baneling speed and upgrades, and we have a game. But there's a period. If you're rushing into Mutas, there is a period, there's a window where you're vulnerable. And you're so vulnerable, so prone to those kind of attacks. And here we go. As we are getting ready for game number 3. It's going to be on Oceanborn. Let's go. Oceanborn coming up next. We're just making sure we have the correct players in. Beautiful. Do love to see it. Do love to see it here as we are getting ready here to determine who will take a lead in the series, who will gain momentum overall in the grand finals. Will it be Clem or Reynor to get that next point on the board? Chat was just catching up. Here we go. Catching up with the chat. Mine's OP, baby. True. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Terran player. We have our French blue Terran representing Team Liquid, tying up the series 1-1. And looking to extend that lead, looking to take that momentum and take it even further in this game. Can he do it? Can he pull it off? It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Italian Zerg player representing Team Basilisk, being forced into a tied-up series. Can he redeem himself? Can he bounce back? going for a 15-15. Again, it is Reynor. If you were here for game 1, I went on a small tangent about how Reynor is in love with the 15-15, and he went for it in game 1, he skipped it in game 2, but a big reason for that, I'm pretty sure, is because of how large Equilibrium is, so there's no reason to play safe. You can just go for a standard opener. Here on Oceanborn, shorter rush distance by ground, 15-15, safe opener by Reynor. It is opening up very safely here with a faster hatchery, a faster spawning pool, delayed gases. As we mentioned, to quickly reiterate, this does mean that we get faster queen production. It does mean we get later ling speed and later economy, just slightly less efficient than a standard opener, only slightly. And Reynor, he's more than happy to just play safely and, you know, just be defensive here, be secure in the early game. But again, he has a reputation. Like, Clem knows that Reynor loves this opener, so isn't going to indulge him in a more aggressive build. Clem chilling out, going for a Rax expand. No proxy, no cheese, no hyper aggression. Not yet. Not yet, as the SV is moving out across the map. Let's go. Do waddle on out here. SCV going to be delaying the third base. This is the downside of Oceanborn. The hardest thing here for Zerg is that on Oceanborn, there's only one third base to take. This linear third is so exposed. This one here in the center of the map, there's no way to take it. You have to expand toward the left-hand side instead, and Clem is there to delay it. He's there to delay the expansion, dives into the natural base, going for the drone. He gets one. Ooh, that should not have happened. One drone goes down. Big pickoff already for Clem. Dipping into the main. Queen is in position. Reynor, he will defend. But already, quite a loss. Behind this, third CC. 3 CC before Starport. Once again, economic opener out of Clem. It is what has been embracing so far this entire series. Every game so far. Same build from our Terran. Same initial opener. This may be a better way to put it. The follow-up, we have been varying up. That is true. As the SV goes back home, and Reynor is stuck on 2 bases. Ooh, he's stuck on 2 bases. He embraces the 2-base play, throwing down the Roach Warren. Oh boy. What else did Reynor do? Skip Ling Speed. Ling Speed was not researched. We skip Ling Speed. Roach Warren has been thrown down. Lair is on the way. 2-base Roach coming out from Reynor. Very committed, and Clem has to scout this. Dips in. Queen is in position. He doesn't commit. He dips out. Clem is in the dark, but he's at least aware of the lack of base. He still knows that there is no third. So the likelihood of this being Roach is quite high, to be honest. It's quite high that it is going to be Roaches. Now with this fast Lair, it's going to be fast Roach speed. This could lead into an all-in. We'll keep an eye on the drone count of Reynor to see how hard he commits to Roach production. Cyclones have arrived. Ooh, and with the help of these Cyclones, we can deny the base. Oh. We could try and deny the hatchery. As, yeah, we do go straight for the base itself. Reaper gets into main, scouts the lair, gets towards the natural, and we get eyes on the Roach Warren as well. Clem, he sees everything. He confirms. I mean, on top of that, the Roaches have been revealed. Cyclones go to town. They pick off a Roach. Ay. The Cyclone follow-up is insane. We pick off a Roach. We pick off a Queen as well. Can we get another Queen? We can, and we will. We get the Queen and the Ravager, and Clem is snowballing out of control, punishing the build of Reynor. He sees your Roach Ravager, and he raises you with Cyclones. Picks off the final Ravager as well. Doesn't lose a single Cyclone of his own. And Clem, this is just becoming far too much here. The Cyclones are so low, we should be backing off soon. Oh my god, but he does outrange the Queen. He gets another Queen. He outranges, he shuts them down. We'll finally back off. But look at the trades. He killed 3 Queens, 1 Roach, 2 Ravagers, an Overlord, a Drone for 1 Hellion and 1 Reaper. Very efficient trades here by Clem. Ay. And Reynor, I mean, remember, his third base is late, his economy is delayed. He was banking on these Roaches, and I feel like we may just have to go for an all-in. We'll keep an eye on the drone count. Right now, we're at 54 workers. We are sub 3-base saturation. We have Roaches on the way, Roach speed as well. Reynor hasn't made a drone in quite some time. We'll see if he ever makes another drone. As the Hellions, they do threaten the third base. They head towards the natural. We're going for more drone kills as they are lining up. We get 2 workers. We get 3. Can we get a 4th? Not quite. 3 drones get picked off, and Reynor is redroning. Okay, he's not all in. That is what we were waiting for. He is redroning, throws down 2 more EVA chambers. He wants to head into 1-1, and he's moving out with his army, but he is not all in. Bear that in mind. He's posturing, but he won't be committing. This also means that he cannot afford to lose this army. If these roaches die, he has nothing behind this, because he's droning. He has nothing else behind this. He has to be very careful with his army. Bunker is on the way. Tank is in position. Do we have stim? We do. Yeah, we already have stim as well. Again, Reynor, he cannot lose this. Throws down a couple of vials. Again, poking and prodding wherever he can. Overlord is going to fall. And Reynor, he has to be so careful. Again, a delicate dance here between the roaches and the bio army. Does force the pickup. Reynor, trading well. So far, trading well. Getting his 4th base. He has map control. Behind this, working towards 1-1. Infestation bits on the way. This should be for infestors, for fungal growths. Fungal is a good way to support the army. To support Roach Ravager, as we are lacking splash damage. We are lacking splash damage here as Reynor is building up. Scan into the main, reveals the hive. And infestors are on the way. 3 infestors in production. Hydra Den. So Reynor, he's trying to transition away from Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker Viper. That is the end game. The end goal here is Lurkers. We saw that, hey, they won Reynor game 1. That did happen. But it wasn't easy. Was not easy by any means. Clem rotating around and dropping towards that natural. To see a double drop towards the left-hand side. Clem going to try and pull apart Reynor again. Reynor's army is quite immobile, but he does have those fungals. Does have the infestors. As Clem is just focusing on tank production, making 2 tanks out of... That's a lot of tanks! Oh my god. Clem, he's building up a death ball of an army. With a tank-heavy style, he can just shut down all things Roach, Ravager, Hydra Lurker related. Big fungal here on the bio. The chain fungal as well! Big catch, as Clem will lose all of his marines here on the right-hand side. 1 singular marine does not escape. We did have a mine drop here towards the left. It killed some workers, that is true. But Clem, he bled out so many marines. He is now at least aware of the infestors. But that's a rude awakening. That's a rough way to be made aware. There it is. +1 vehicle weapons. We can see Clem just turtling at this point. Just turtling up, relying on drop play. He could deny this base on the left-hand side. Could deny the 5th. He's looking quite exposed. Limited crease spread here. Reynor still stabilizing. Lurker Den is done. Lurker upgrades on the way. And the Lunkers, they're on the horizon. But against a tank-heavy composition, Lurkers aren't going to be as effective as we saw against the Widow Mines. Yeah, we deny the 5th. Force a cancel. Dropping in towards that 4th. Reynor, though, he's in position. For the most part, keeping up with the movement of Clem. On the right-hand side, we pick up a Roach. Coming in with another double drop, denying the 5th. A 5th that doesn't exist. Spore Crawler going to be going down. Now Hydra as well. What else can we get? What else can we pick up? We get a Gas Geyser. We do retreat. Again, Clem respecting the army of Reynor quite a bit. After losing 3 full Medivacs, full of Marines. I mean, the Medivacs survived, but losing all those Marines, he doesn't want to take a chance. Does back the hell up. Yeah, it's still continuing tank production here. Still making 2 at a time. Again, this tank-based army is going to be brutal when we do move out. We will need Vipers. And we just don't have any, not yet. I'm hoping we can get some Vipers soon without them. Reynor will have a hard time engaging. Fungal grazes the army. Does connect once again. The Biles. Clem getting punished for being active here. Leading out more Marines. I mean, at least he's only losing Marines. You can see here that he's barely lost any gas. He's only lost 75 gas this game. Crazy. He's been so efficient. Reality is that Marines are expendable. True. They are quite expendable here. Reynor now going for the Bailey Nest. Should be working towards Ling Speed. Sorry, Ling Speed is done. And should be working towards a Ling Bane army to support his Hydra Lurker. Still no Vipers. And Clem should soon be pushing. We're maxing out. We're maxing out here at 200 supply. Nidus swarming towards the Natural is going to be shut down. Clem, he does slip in. That's a kill. Oh, one base goes down. Can we get another? That's a kill on the right-hand side. This should be a cancel towards the left. Another kill. Oh my god. 600 minerals down the drain. We go for the Lurker Den. Clem picking off so much. Killing 2 hatcheries and a Lurker Den in a matter of seconds. And Reynor, he's being pulled apart. Does catch a medevac with those spores, thankfully, but those were some brutal pickoffs. 2 dead hatcheries, dead tech. I believe we have the upgrades. I believe, yeah, we have both Lurker upgrades already. But the Lurker Den has to be rebuilt. Big losses here for Reynor. As we stim in once again onto the base. But we don't get it. We do not get it though, not this time. Drop into the main base, but there is stack defense in position. Reynor, he's aware that he's having a hard time keeping up with the speed of Clem. So he goes for Spine Crawlers and Spores. Stack defense to buy time. Green drop comes in. Good target firing here on the drones. Getting 3 drones, getting 4 drones, almost a 5th in the main. Good trade there for the Marines. Behind this, we are taking another CC, getting a 5th. 5th CC on the way. Planetaries in position. You can see the wall here by Clem. Turrets, towers, planetaries, tanks. Anything and everything. And Reynor, he has to get rid of these roaches. They are just dead supply here at this point. Inflated supply for Reynor. That's why he's being active with them. Yeah, he's bleeding them out, but that's a good thing. As we replace the roaches with Ling Bane. Yeah, Snipe's going to be going up. I say with Ling Bane, there we go. 38 Lings on the way, 9 drones as well. Reynor getting up to a solid economy. Meanwhile, the Nidus finishes. No shot. Nidus into the main base, and Clem, he didn't see. He wasn't in position. And we are camping the production, but here come the ghosts. Oh my god. Phew. That was almost disastrous, by the way. If the ghosts weren't nearby. They sniped 3 lurkers. At the same time, Ling Roche pushing towards the front lines. They try to break in, but they are denied. Vipers have arrived. How many Vipers do we have? 1. 1 Viper so far. Ghosts pushing in. Ooh. They do graze that infestor. It is lurking, but it is an infestor. Scans will reveal it. Ghost coming for the snipe. The Viper! Ooh, is sniped. Can he get both? Gets the Viper, gets the infestor as well. The value goes though. Can we get away? The Ghost will escape. Oh my god. Shouldn't have, but does barely get away. Went on a mission. Oh, not like this. Clem himself. Snipes a Viper, snipes an infestor, gets the hell out of there. We see Reynor slipping in. But I believe there are turrets around, so he has to be very careful with his movement. Another infestor gets caught. Big scans here from Clem. Reynor, he has to split up his infestors. Cannot bunch them up. As Clem is building up his bank, Reynor expanding everywhere. Mass expanding, taking every base that's left over. Making sure he has a superior economy, a superior bank. Again, very important that Reynor holds onto these center bases. If he loses them, then he will lose momentum. Again, he needs to stay up in bases compared to Clem, as Clem has a more efficient army. Just to wind it back a little bit as to what I meant. So, Clem's army is more efficient. Ghost Tank Lib, very efficient army. So, because his army is more efficient, Reynor needs a better army. He needs a better economy, sorry, to be able to out-trade Clem to keep up. Otherwise, Clem will just run away. He'll just run away with the game. If Clem gets an even economy, then what does Reynor have going his way, right? Like, what is his advantage in that position? Doesn't have one. So Clem has a better army. Reynor has a better economy for the time being. Does lose a hatchery. Does lose a base. You see Clem killing his own SCVs. Freeing up supply. Nida Swarm towards the left-hand side. That's a good way to reinforce and a good way to evacuate this base if we ever need it. Meanwhile, Clem doesn't need to mine from these center bases yet. He just needs to deny them. And denying the right-hand side is already beautiful. Can he deny the left, though? There it is. Spine Crawlers on the way. Spore Crawlers. You can see Reynor fortifying this position. He knows how important it is. Now the Knight is being thrown down. Clem gaining ground on the right-hand side. Bane trying to roll in. Isn't quite able to. The tank line a little bit too strong. Gonna see Reynor dive in. He wants to go for the dive. He catches the tank, gets another as well. Oh, the frame's going to be dropping a little bit here as we push into a concave. The third tank survives for Clem, and he holds the line. Again, a good trade there for Clem. He only lost a couple of tanks. Didn't lose anything major. And he's replacing those tanks as he makes 7 libs at a time. My god. It's a lot of liberators. That's a lot of freedom. And again, Ghost Tank Lib. That is the ideal Terran army. The Infestor, no! We wander in. We have been spotted. Did Clem notice? I think he did. Yeah. I think he might have noticed. Yeah, tanks and libs denying the gas. Clem finally taking the center base. Scan barely misses the Infestor. Oh my god. Suck it in. And Reynor, can we make use of it? Here we go. We dive on the army. Can we get a fungal off? We can. We can and we will. The ghosts get caught out. Big fungal there from Reynor. Collapsing on the tanks, and Clem, he's spread a little bit too thin. Okay, Reynor, he will back off, heading towards that planetary. But the liberation zones, they have arrived. The freedom is here. As the fungal misses. No shot. Fungal does barely miss. Bailing's not efficient trades here on the Ghosts, as they do get shut down. And Clem, he will take the fight. He will force back the army. Good snipes here from Clem. Reynor pulling back. The base survived, by the way. The planetary was not killed. It still stands strong. Clem maintains this position. And Reynor has to back off and rebuild. Yeah, 4 more Infestors working towards eventually Broodlords. We've got Double Spire, 1-1. This is for Broodlord production. Eventually, we have to get out of Lingbane Hydra into Broodlord Infestor. That is what Reynor needs. We can see Clem getting ready for it already with Viking production. Vikings underway. Still no mining here towards the left. Reynor just cannot mine freely because of all the libs and tanks. One tank is going to get picked off. As though the lib gets within range of the Spore Crawler. Scans trying to get eyes on the army. Oh, the Ghost is a bit adventurous. Moving forward a little bit too much there. But there it is. Liberation has arrived. All we need is a scan. One good scan here. Nuke on the right-hand side as well is going to go off. Collapsing here on the side defense. Forcing it back. Oof. Do end up yoinking one of those libs, but the Liberator survives. Oh my god. Lib does like, give us a scan, Papi. So managed to land a fungal on the Vikings. But it's becoming too much. You can see Clem gaining ground on both ends. On both sides. Scans gets eyes on the army. Tanks just zoning back the Lings. Still no Broodlords. No Broodlords for Reynor. Stuck again with a subpar army. And the hatchery's going to go down. Reynor, he gives up on the base. And this is a pretty fresh base, by the way. A big loss there for Reynor. And he's in a bit of trouble here. Still has a bank, but he's about to burn through it. Snipe's going to be going off. Nidus goes down. From here, Clem, he can back off. He can focus across the map instead. Oh, as Reynor has to make a choice. And there it is. Broodlords. It's going to be, there's soon to be 2-2 Broodlords. Currently 1-1. That's 2-2 is halfway done. Reynor, he's getting there. Reynor is getting there. Ooh, Viper goes down. Very nice pick off. By Clem. Rotates around. Reynor a bit out of position. And the Broodlords, they have been scouted. They have been revealed. How many Broodlords do we have? We have 8 Broodlords, 10 Corruptors. Vikings being a little bit ambitious there. They do overextend. And they will get fungled. Big fungals on the Vikings. But you can see Reynor, he's cutting, Clem, he's cutting Reynor off from his base. From his most important mining base right now. Broodlords are coming in. They go for the ghosts. Oh, they do manage to get one ghost. More Broodlords on the way. Meanwhile, Clem just doubling down on mass ghost lid production. Catch some lurkers. Yeah, going for the mining base. Goes for the nuke as well. Big EMP. Broodlords, they need to deny the nuke. They do need to deny. We collapse on the army. Big fungal here. Oh, no fungal, sorry. Parasitic bomb. And here comes the Ling Bane. Collapsing on the ghost. But we don't quite make it. Oh, decent Bailey connections. Yeah, it's just too much. The nuke connects. GG gets called. 12 drones go down. And Clem, he snowballs out of control. Taking game number 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Clem was just so efficient throughout that entire game, and he was just choking Reynor out. Reynor just could not hold on to a single base. Whenever Clem would push in, Reynor just had to give up more and more ground, losing center right, losing even the other center right base, losing center left as well. Just being bullied back time and time again. Could not keep up with Clem. And with that, Reynor, even towards the end, burned through his entire bank. He just did not have a bank to work with. And Clem is now 1 game away from taking this entire series, from taking the tournament, from becoming our champion. Last week, it was a Clem versus Reynor finals, and Clem took down Reynor 3-1 in a pretty terrifying fashion. Here, it's more of a back and forth. Reynor, he's able to hold his own. And I'm hoping that we can go to the ace match. I'm hoping that Reynor can fight back here and now and force a game 5. But it's not on me. It's not on us. It's on Reynor right now. To bring his A game. And to fight like he never has before. To bring Clem down. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can. As it looks like Reynor needs a moment. I don't blame him. Reynor, he's asking for a break. After a late game on Oceanborn, it's understandable. Understandable. Yeah, Clem, he's like, take your time, Bobby. Take your time. Big shout to Clem. Very amicable. And I guess with that, we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a very short break here. And when we return, we're going to be getting into game number 4. Either the finale or a game that Reynor can force to the ace match. It's all on the line right now. And again, Reynor, he's asking for a couple of minutes. We are more than happy to give it to him. We'll be back soon with our next game. See you then. Take this moment. go to the bathroom, get some snacks, get some water, hydrate yourself, and we'll be back shortly with the rest of the finals. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew. Hope you enjoyed that break. Again, our players did need it after an intense couple of games. We did have a bit of an intermission, but now we're back at it here. We're diving into game number 2 of the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Europe 216. Will it all end here, or can we force an ace match? I'm hoping for the ace match. I want more. I'm greedy like that. I'm a caster. I'm greedy. I want more games between our players, but it's not on me. It's on these two amazing combatants here before us. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have our French Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Basilisk down in this series. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Reynor. Here we go. As Reynor going for a regular hatch first on Solaris, this time avoiding that 15-15, going for a standard opener. As a result, he would be pigeonholed into delaying his third and then being stuck on 2 bases and going into roaches. Again, the early Reaper aggression from Clem has been insane. It wasn't just last game, but even in game 1, we saw Clem pop off killing drones, laying bases, just being such a nuisance, and we've had enough. We had enough. Going for a hatch gas pool. Get out of here. But again, Clem, when it comes to his overall builds of choices, he hasn't been mixing it up too much. It's been a Rax expand into a 3rd CC before starports, pretty much every game so far. Different variations where he's gone into Banshee play or gone into Widowmine drops or Liberator harass. Has been mixing it up when it comes to the follow-up there, but overall economic openers. We'll see if that's the case here in game 4 as well. As the Reaper is on the way, SCV Scout comes in, and we get eyes on the timing of the hatchery. We are fully aware now of the hatch gas pool. We know what has been going on. Reaper moving out. It's going to be on Reynor to minimize his losses and to expand and take his 3rd base at a reasonable time. And there it is. 3rd is on the way before the Reaper even shows up. Very nicely done. Likewise, we do have the Reaper dipping into that natural. Ooh, going to be threatening the Lings. Threatening those Lings. So far, though, we haven't lost anything, and we do pick off 1. 1 Ling goes down, but the Reaper is forced back. It is going to be forced back. Ling speed on the way. It was prioritized. We pull out of gas. Queens are amassing, and Reynor's looking quite secure here. Yeah, the tumor is going to be safe. We spot both queens, so Clem, he dives into the main base. The queen out of position, so we can get a full scout off. We get eyes on the Ling speed. We get eyes on lack of gases. So Clem confirms that it is not roaches. So a nice scout there from Clem. Behind this, going for a 3rd CC. No, my apologies. I saw the starport. I assumed it was 3CC for the first time this series. For the first time, we have a delayed 3rd and a straight up 1-1-1. A very aggressive build. This could even lead into a Hellbat push. Oh boy. A very aggressive build here from Clem, going into faster Banshees, more committed Heli in production. Heli's they dive in. Speaking of being more committed, we get into the middle line. Drones are getting roasted. Not like this. 6 drones go down. This is already worth it. 8. We get 8, almost 9. And we're not done, because the aggression has only just started. Remember, no 3rd base behind this. We ignore the queens for a moment. Hellions retreat, 8 dead workers. Reynor, he's stuck, re-droning. Meanwhile, Clem hammering down that production here. Just continuing Hellions. Banshee's on the way. Stim behind this as well. And we'll keep an eye out for the armory. Depending on whether or not we retain these Hellions. There it is, Stim in production. A bit of a brutal supply block, but we do break free, thankfully. We get out of the supply block, we go for an add-on swap as well. Overlord dips in, we get eyes on the production. The Hellions, they get past the Queens again! We delay mining at the natural, we head into the main base. Evo Chambers are thrown down. 2 Evo Chambers even, but we still fight. There's no, not like this! Reynor, he leaves him inattentive. The boys are being pulled. They line up. 11 drones get roasted, and that just may be it. 14, 15 drones go down. This is game-ending damage. As the Banshees, they rock up at the natural. No Spore Crawlers, no detection. Cloak is done in 2 seconds. In 2, in 1. Cloak has completed. And now we can turn back around and focus down those drones. This is just getting out of hand. This is getting out of control. Before we could even think about the mid-game, we're dying here in the early to mid-game. In our build of choice, we were not ready for the spores. Sorry, we're not ready for the Banshees. No spores whatsoever. And this is too much. This is far too much. 25, soon to be 26 drone kills. We killed the Banshee, but that was worth it. Looking at the resources lost tab, 35 workers have gone down. We have another Banshee at the natural. No spore. 27 drone kills. And this is how our story ends, because as amazing as Reynor is, recovering from this position, you need your opponent. Basically, Reynor, he has to rely on Clem making mistakes. That's the only way. If Clem makes mistakes, if he overextends, if he, you know, loses a full medevac, if he loses an army, bleeds out a couple too many Banshees, throws away his Hellions, Reynor has to rely here on Clem messing up. Outside of that, Clem is in control of this game. Like, Clem, he has a massive lead right now. Oh boy, third base is being taken as we speak. Marines, they move out, they catch an Overlord. Ooh, supply blocking Reynor. Something that we can't quite afford right now. As Reynor, he's still struggling here to recover. Clem, meanwhile, he's already got stim, and he's working on the timing. When 1-1 finishes up, we're pushing. We're moving out. And when it comes to defending against his timing, I don't know if Reynor can defend against it. Again, he has to rely on Clem making a mistake, because even before 1-1 finishes, we're moving out. Oh, God. We're already moving out. Lings, they come in for a backstab, but there are Hellions to defend. Not like this. As Clem, he sims on right through the center of the map. There's no Bailings, there's only Queens and Lings to defend. GG gets called. We don't even get a final fight. The writing was on the wall, and Clem will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Europe champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here as Clem runs away with it. He pops off, snowballs out of control with his opener. Again, for the first time this series, he did not open economically. Remember, he went for a 1-1-1, delayed third CC, so a much more committed Hellion and Banshee aggression and build, and just faster aggression overall from Clem. And Reynor was caught with his pants down. He was assuming that Clem would be, you know, playing more economic and playing more defensive, and Reynor was happily droning. He was skipping out on Lings. Reynor was being a little bit too greedy, considering he didn't know what was happening and didn't know what Clem was doing across the map. GG. GG, well played. Reynor just, again, misreading the situation, and Clem taking full advantage of Reynor in that moment, in that game. And he's our champion 2 weeks in a row. GG, well played. History repeats itself. Last week, Clem also took down Reynor 3-1. Seems to be the same case here this week. A shout out to Reynor though, because game 1 was beautiful. Like, game 1, it was very impressive to see Reynor survive. Weather the storm, and fight back and beat back Clem, get into lurkers, and win that game on hard lead. It was very impressive. It was a very impressive game on hard lead from Reynor. Outside of that though, Clem was looking very dominant. Even Oceanborn, which led to the late game, it's true, it went all the way to the late game, but Clem was never in really any danger. Remember, in the lead up to the late game, he was taking fungals to the face, but he was losing mainly Marines. He wasn't really bleeding out Ghosts. Like, Clem was trading so efficiently, and even in that game, like, he was in the driver's seat as well. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, and a shout out to Reynor, because even though he went down to Clem here in the finals, he still looked damn good making his way to the finals. He was able to bring down Max Pax, was able to bring down some big names, like Showtime as well. Reynor looking a lot stronger against Protoss, struggling here against Terran, but it's okay. Still had a good showing and still took down MaxPax, the best Protoss in Europe. The best two Protosses in Europe. He brought down MaxPax and Showtime. Again, did struggle here in the finals, but I mean, it's Clem. No shame in going down to Clem. With that, we have wrapped up here for the night. We've wrapped up for the night. It was a bit of a longer broadcast. It's almost midnight here in Europa. And we're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be back in under 24 hours with our next broadcast. It's going to be the Club NV X Ducklings Showdown. If you don't know what that is, it's an event that we've been running alongside Club NV, a Korean team. It's a beautiful event, but it has been on hiatus. We basically took a small break for IEM Katowice because the Koreans were traveling. So we took a small break for IEM, but we have returned with some show matches. With show matches between Nightmare, Bunny, Creator, and, of course, Cure. There we go. Wait, was it Cure or Gumiho? No, sorry, Gumiho. That's it. So Gumiho, Bunny, Nightmare, and Creator, 4 Korean players. Protoss and Terran, they have been invited to play in some show matches here on the CranKy Ducklings. In a couple of hours in, let me just get that number right for you, in 13 hours time. So here on this channel, in 13 hours and 40 minutes, we're going to be live with some very, very intense show matches. So be there. Be sure you're there for it. It's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be an amazing day of StarCraft. So be sure to tune in for it. And that's going to be our only broadcast tomorrow. Potentially. We could have a replay cast. We'll figure it out. We won't be casting ESL Americas live. We're going to be covering that via replays. So just bear that in mind. We're going to be going over ESL Open Cup Americas via replays in a couple of days. We'll find a nice time slot to slip into it. So keep an eye out for that as well. Again, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We do post whenever we go live, so be sure you are aware of that. Again, follow us if you want to stay up to date with all of our broadcasts. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys in 13 hours for some lovely show matches. Until then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.